All right, today we're going to do a technical deep dive on a stock that's been on just a wild ride, Bitfarms. Let's ticker BITF. We're going to unpack a recent analysis to really get what's behind its incredible surge and, what the charts might be telling us about its next move. So let's just jump right in. So why is everyone talking about this stock? Well, how about a 289% gain in just 3 months? Yeah, a number that big, you just have to take a closer look, right? And this timeline, it really paints the picture. You can see the stock was just kind of hanging out around $1.08 back in mid-July. Then, bam, look at those huge volume spikes in September. That's a massive signal that investors were piling in. And it all leads up to October 10th, where it hits this crazy peak of 510 before some profit-taking pushed it back down to 420 by the end of the day. Just a truly explosive run. Okay, so first things first, let's decode the signals that are screaming bullish. What in the data is actually supporting this powerful move? It's the big question, isn't it? What is actually driving this incredible surge? Well, the technical report points to a few key things, and it all starts with one of the most basic tools in any analyst's toolbox. And that tool is moving averages. You can think of them as just a way to kind of smooth out all the choppy day-to-day noise of the market. It gives you a much clearer picture of the real trend. Are we actually heading up or are we heading down? And here's what's so telling. The current price of $4.20 is sitting way above all of its key moving averages. We're talking short, medium, and long term. This is a textbook sign of a really strong, really healthy uptrend. It's basically the chart telling us that no matter which lens you look through, the bulls are in control. But direction is only part of the story. We also have to look at the strength of the trend. Is this thing running on fumes, or is there some real horsepower behind this move? And that's where momentum and volume come into play. For momentum, a lot of analysts will look at an indicator called the MACD. Now, to put it simply, it's just measuring the strength and direction of a trend. A positive reading here suggests that the upward momentum isn't just there, it's actually getting stronger. And for BITF, all the signals are just flashing bright green. The MACD and its histogram are both positive, which confirms that upward momentum. But the number that really jumps out at me is the ADX score, 52.93. Now, to put that in perspective for you, anything over 25 is considered a strong trend. So a score over 50? That is exceptionally powerful. This is not some gentle slope. This is a high-conviction, super strong move up. And it's not just the price that's moving, it's the sheer number of shares changing hands. Just look at these huge volume spikes on the big price action days. 226 million shares traded on October 10th. That's massive. This shows it's not just a few players pushing the price around. There's real, broad market conviction behind this thing. Okay, so the bull case is pretty clear, pretty compelling. But a good analysis, it always looks at both sides of the story. So now let's take a look at some of the potential warning signs. Which brings us to this really crucial question. After a run this fast and this steep, you have to ask yourself, is the stock flying a little too close to the sun? Can this momentum actually last, or is a pullback right around the corner? To get an answer, we can look at an indicator called the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. A good way to think about it is like a speedometer for the stock. A reading over 70 is kind of like a sprinter who's hitting their absolute top speed. Yeah, they're winning the race, but they might need to catch their breath pretty soon. It suggests a stock could be overbought. In BITF's RSI, a jaw-dropping 82.61. Now remember, anything over 70 is already considered overbought. So at over 82, yeah, we are deep into that territory. Now, it doesn't guarantee the price is going to drop, but it is a major, major caution flag that suggests the buying frenzy might be running out of steam. The other big warning sign comes from that crazy peak day we talked about. The stock hit 510, but it couldn't stay there. It closed almost a full dollar lower, and that happened on record volume. That tells us that as the price hit those new highs, a whole lot of investors decided, you know what, time to cash in my chips. So you've got these conflicting signals, right? Super strong momentum on one hand, but these overbought conditions on the other. So what does the path ahead actually look like? Let's break down the key levels that traders are going to be watching like a hawk. And to do that, you have to understand support and resistance. It's a really simple but powerful idea. Support is like a price floor that the stock has a tough time falling through, and resistance is like a ceiling that it has a tough time breaking above. So for BITF, the absolutely crucial support level, that floor, is right between 385 and 390. Now, on the upside, the first ceiling it has to break through is around 444, with the big one, of course, being that recent high of 510. These are the battlegrounds that are likely going to decide where the stock goes next. And this all sets up two really clear scenarios. The bullish path is this. The stock holds that 385 floor, uses it like a trampoline, and goes on to re-challenge those ceilings above it. The bearish path? That floor breaks. And if it does, the price could easily fall back down toward the next support level, which is around 325. So, when you put all these pieces together, what's the final takeaway? Let's quickly sum up what the charts are telling us. This quote from the report's conclusion really just nails the central conflict here. The trend and momentum are, without a doubt, super strong and bullish. But that overbought RSI and that big sell-off from the peak are classic signs of potential exhaustion. And this creates a really interesting puzzle for traders. Do you bet on the incredible momentum to keep going? Or do you listen to the warning signs of a possible reversal? Which leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Is this a rocket ship that's just refueling for its next launch into orbit? Or is it getting ready to come screaming back down to Earth? Those key price levels we talked about, they're probably going to give us the answer. Thanks for joining this breakdown.